Alright, everybody, here is our continuation of Speedy the Turtle. So, again, just remind everybody, we have to first click on our Python with turtle, and here loads up our Python. So, we're going to start out with the basic commands that you should be using. Uh, I like using these little startup here. So, import the turtle. We're gonna name the turtle, which our turtle is named Speedy. We're gonna give Speedy a color. So we're gonna color of lines. So we're gonna color it's gonna be blue. We're gonna give Speedy a shape of the pen, is the best way to put it. And then we're gonna do this new command. So the new command here is Speedy speed. How fast the command Speedy gets are written. Speedy speed. Uh, it goes from 0 to 10. 0 is medium speed, so no, not fast, not too slow. 1 is the slowest, and 10 is the fastest. So I put this one at 10 for the first diagram. Every time you restart Speedy or when you make a new turtle, that speed is gonna go back to the default, which is 0. And then we're gonna give Speedy a home. So this is gonna be this creates Speedy home, or the turtle. I'll call it turtle screen. And this is from the last one. I just got over again. And it's gonna give a background color, right? Or BG color. Now you can run this right here, and it will give you at least the basic. Here's a blue turtle. Here's a light green background. So we're gonna start with a basic program that all it does is draw dotted lines or dashes. So this is a program I wrote that just does dashes. Added this one command called turtle done, which should be speedy done. Sorry. It just says that that's the end of our program. So we run here, run it, and speedy's done. So what happens with this if I type it as speed oh, it's gonna end a bit so speedy pen down. Oops. And then we type a speedy forward 100. So now we got that then. So what happens is, oh, an extra. Okay. And I can't spell it down apparently. Okay, let's try it again. So it's gonna continue on. So just add that. So all speed done does is reminds us that that's the end of that code that we work on. Doesn't change the attributes, doesn't change anything else. So you don't have to put it, but it kind of tells you where that program ends. So I like adding it in there. So the idea for today is loops. How do we better loops for Speedy in general, and better loops for turtle programming. So we look at a program and see repetition. And when we see repetition, it means you can use a loop. Here we see repetition starting here. So we have these 4 commands repeat themselves over and over again. It's repeat itself actually 4 times. So we can rewrite this in A similar way, um, and let's go here. And here, I imported the color difference so you could see when the new speedy takes over. So it's going to repeat the line 4 times. We're going to write in for I a range 4. So the code says run a for loop, I is the variable, and the range is 4. So that means run this loop 4 times. Anything in that loop will run 4 times. Uh, and this is coming out. I'll talk about that in a second. So these 4 commands are the 4 commands that we have been repeating over and again. So let's see what happens when we run it twice. So it's the first one. Oh, I gotta erase the speed down. Oh, sorry, I forgot. So what we're gonna do is a little trick here. We're going to import speedy again. So what this does is it makes a second speedy because we told it import another turtle, call it speedy. Now normally we call it a different. So just to understand what we're going to call this turtle SP. So this turtle is going to be called SP. The home is the same. So and what this does, it makes 2 turtles. One turtle is our original Speedy. The second one is another program with Speedy, and we're gonna do there. Okay, run. So, man, now the new turtle starts. Now it looked like it went backward, but it actually didn't. What happens is that it actually restarted at the beginning, so it overwrote what was there. But this program does the same thing twice, right? Um, that shows you that your loop is doing well. If we had messed up, let's say we had done 60 here, you'll see a difference in the program. See, it's off. And you could tell that you didn't do the right loop. It's a good way to test it, and then you just keep your final code to make sure it works. Um, so that is an interesting way just to do loops. Just look at your code and make sure that it has repetition in it. Now, we learned last time in the video how to turn speedy, but because maybe for some reason you didn't watch it or anything, so we're going to get rid of the extra speedy here. Actually, you know what, I'm gonna copy this because I like the way it came out. Okay, and we're gonna do some turns. So the most, well, let's get rid of this all the way up to here. So the most simple shape we can make is a square or a circle. Circle's easy because there's a code for circle. But what about a square? So the square is simple, right? We'll do a forward. Oh, sorry. Oh, let me space it out. Speedy forward 100. Speedy, and here we are to turn speedy. Speedy. Let's go up. So let's go left. Left. 90 degrees. Speedy forward. Another 100. And if you want, you could always check along. So all right. So here you would then turn left, go down, forward, turn left, go forward. So you can do 2 things. You could just copy this here a couple more times. All right. And you just have square, or you can make a for loop, which I'll let you do the for loop. So this is our square. Very simple. You could do either up, down. left. Remember, we also taught that you can do a 45-degree angle or a 60-degree angle. So if we do, let's say we try a 60, see what happens. So now the turn is not left, right. It is a angle, right? So we do it as, oh, hey, that looks like a shape. How many more do we have to add to that? Let's add three more. No, two more. We just made a hexagon. Hex, right? One, two, three, four, five, six. Um, which is interesting because we could just write code to loop and do different things. A triangle would be a little diff. So maybe if you try 45, let's try 45 for the first one. Oh, look at that. That didn't work right. Then went 45 degree this way. When realistically we wanted to go that way. Hmm. So I'll let you work on figuring out how to do a triangle. Um, so before that, let me go do this. I'll go back to 90. Let's keep our square. And I'm gonna let you figure out how to do the for loops because you should be able to do the for loops. But what happens if you keep going over? Just for just it's just gonna draw over. But it's a good way to pick where you want to stop speed if you want to keep going over. So the square doesn't need the last two. So we're gonna keep the last two, and then hexagon, right? And the hexagon is the same thing. Right? That's what happens now. Wow, shape is a shape. So speed is getting a little better, right? So now we showed a couple angles, a couple little dotted lines. So far, so good. Uh, let's do let's add another one. Here is one that a couple of different commands we're gonna learn about right now. So we did all these. Oh, there is no direct way to clear the screen for people asking. You have to use import another function. It's OS. So if you import OS, you'll be able to use the clear screen command. But right now we're not working on that right now. So here is another code. Let's see what this one adds to the mix. That has, ooh, he had a little triangle, and he colored it in. And he changed colors. Yes, you can consistently change colors as you draw. So this is a new command, big and fill. You don't have to worry about it. Um, but I do want to add. I forgot to add that command. So there's one other command that you can see, which is stamp. Uh, so there's one command called speedy. I forgot to go over it. The stamp, and I'm gonna put this at the end of 3, 4. And here so you can see what it does. So what this does is at the end, when you put stamp, it will leave ooh, little stamps around. A good way to mark coordinates and mark certain things. So stamp puts a stamp of whatever the turtle picture is. So back to this. So Speedy begin fill. It tells Speedy that this is the beginning of something I'm gonna draw, and I'm gonna fill in with a color. Okay, so this one has a fill color of orange, and it has an end fill. We stop filling, so if I get done drawing, it wouldn't fill the next part. Um, so if we were to go back and let's say to square, and we do, let's go back to the square. We'll copy the begin fill. I'll take these. let's still do the square in purple. See, Speedy changed his stamp, but not the color of the line, because he never changed that. But it only filled this one up. Didn't fill that one up. So if we wanted to fill the hexagon, um, gray, not purple, gray, gray. So what happens is, and I was one point, the last one will overlap the one below it. So here you see the same thing in the arrow here. This is going on right here. So you don't want to fill in certain shapes before the ones you want to be seen in the foreground, right? So let's cut this. Why don't we put our square after the hexagon and run it again? So, a couple things. First of all, it changed the whole dynamic of the picture because the square was drawn here. That meant, oh, run it again. That means that it's draw the hexagon and then it does square. And we need position where we wanted to draw. Leads us to another piece of code, which I'm just gonna write the command, but it's set position. So you can use um, set positions to move him to a specific starting spot if you want. Coordinate wise. So if you say before we start this, speedy down. Let's start you at 100, 100. So that's over 100, up 100, right? So, a couple things is because I didn't pick the pen up, you see the line he drew. So you can see that he moved 100 up. So you can always pick up the pen, put it back down, and then do that. If not, you'll see it draw. But you notice that he moved here and then started drawing, which as long as you don't show this unless you move him around. So that position is very useful because that means you could pick up the pen and move Speedy somewhere. I say Speedy, but you know the turtle, right? All right, let's run that. That's what happened. Oh, look, Speedy just started drawing up here, and how'd he get there? I hit that from everybody. So we have that command, speed we talked about already. Uh, Set position, left, right, turning. So I will leave you with an interesting last piece of code. So let me. Well, actually, I'm going to show you two things real quick. So. I'm just copying the file over for our repel that I'll share. So, couple. I'm gonna erase this so we can get a fresh path. Oh, well, actually, so you saw the square, the hexagon. This one is a star, and the star is in a for loop. Um, but it just goes forward 50 and an angle 144, and that gives you a star. Now you can work the coloring a different directions, but this is the basic one, right? So now that we have all these, bam. Now, I did not go over a list, but here is a program with a list and some weird variables. I renamed Speedy T in this program just so it won't confuse you with the rest of the stuff we're doing. Understand this is just a little special code I thought would be cool to share with you. So this code takes a list of colors and randomly picks, well, it doesn't random, it picks the numbers in order through the little function that it has here, and then it draws this, which I thought was pretty cool to show a little pinwheel, colorful pinwheel, being as springtime, summertime, and nicer weather's up coming at. Um, this will run this program 360 times, and that should fill up the screen actually. Um, but it's an interesting program, and you can look at how you can change colors as you draw. If you put them in a list, and then you use this x modulus 6, so it's gonna randomly pick one of the numbers from this list. Well, not it doesn't do it random. It actually does it in order. Uh, and we haven't gone over lists, so I'm not gonna go into too much detail, but it does make it into a pattern. Right? And this function here gives you the diagonal of this drawing because it moves +1 every time, a little bit out, a little bit out, just enough, and then it starts overlapping eventually. Um, this screen size, I had to zoom it in for you guys to see, but it should do enough iterations to fill up the screen on a smaller screen. And it's going at max speed 10, so any faster I can't make it. There's limitation in Repel that it doesn't use full CPU resources unless you pay, so understand that. But here it is, it's done. Let me see, let's zoom out. This is what you would get when it's finished. Pretty nice, I thought. And obviously you mess with the colors and stuff, but it's a side little code just to show you something cool and different. Um, okay. Well, this should give you some basic stuff that you need for your code and your programs, and at least give you some new commands, and see how they work. So get to work, try them out. There are a couple programs to do in this section, but I kind of gave you the answers for a lot of them just working through this. So enjoy and have fun.